Hey there, homesteaders! It's a beautiful day here in the desert, and we were planning on doing a campfire cookout this week with you, but the weather has not been this nice. So we couldn't do that.
So instead, this week, we're just going to show you how much different stuff can happen, from what's growing in our high tunnel to bugs that are hatching and all sorts of cool, exciting things.
So let's go and check it out.
Let's go.
We're Kaliki and Bret, a rugged and adventurous gay couple who are sick and tired of clashing with life in the city.
So we decided to head into the desert to chase our dreams and thrive.
Along with our furry friends Chuck and Momo,
We'll explore DIY projects, tiny house construction, gardening, hiking, cooking,
and share what it looks like to jump headfirst into homesteading.
so subscribe and join us on our dusty adventures to build this desert dwelling. Today I'm getting started on fixing up the rock garden. It had a bunch of weeds growing up through it, so I'm going to try to lay down a thick layer of cardboard under it and put the rocks on top of that, so maybe it'll hold back the weeds a little bit. I've got a bunch of loads of rocks to move before I can put the cardboard down and get going, but I am putting it down on this cardboard first, and then I'll put other cardboard down there and then put the rocks back on top. But while I was doing that, a giant black widow, well, I was seeing a lot of black widow webs in these rocks, and then I saw the giant mother black widow crawling around on the rock. It almost got me, tried to kill me, but I survived, and I'm gonna keep moving these rocks and just be very vigilant. I wonder what my face looks like on this GoPro. Anyway.
Momo, you're the cutest. You love sleeping in the carrots. So sweet.
mess with the fucking thing. Dang, it's got some roots.
Wow. Nice.
It's definitely garlic.
So big. Momo rolled in poop, so he had to get a bath. He's not too happy about it. Momo, you like a shower? Good boy. Well, as you can see, the high tunnel is thriving. So much is growing. I can't even begin to tell you all the different things and how exciting it is. And not only are there all these things that have come back from last year, there are things that we planted in winter that are thriving now, and lots of seedlings that are just getting started and ready to take the place of the older things that we're getting ready to take out. This chamomile here is from last year, and it is beautiful. Now would be the time to harvest the heads of the chamomile to make tea, but I think this year we're going to just let them drop and let this start to spread around in here because it requires very little care. It smells wonderful, it's useful, and it's beautiful, so what could be better than that? Over here we have lots of kale that's all going to flower this year, and unfortunately it's pretty infested with aphids right now, but that also brings tons and tons of ladybugs. They are just all over here making babies, doing everything to get ready to eat every single aphid in this high tunnel. We also have tons of carrots like this. They're all going to seed this year. There's some big ones over there as well. Right behind that, we planted a little row of cover crop, and I believe that tall grass right there with the seed heads on top is triticale. There's also winter wheat rye mix in there, some peas, hairy veg, daikon radish, among some other things to help us improve our soil. Here's a closer look at all of those carrots that are going to seed right now, and that triticale cover crop mix that is so tall. It's almost as tall as I am. Lots of chicory growing in here this year. It's not flowering yet, and we didn't plant any of this. It's just sort of a natural thing that happens in the landscape here. Luckily, it's completely edible, including the roots, and can be used in lots of different dishes. Here we have arugula, which is flowering. So delicious, so wonderful, so beautiful. These are radishes I planted in the winter with the garlic, and they are not doing too great, so they never really made a radish, but they're going to try to make some more seeds, so we can try this again. We still have some garlic that we've left in the ground. I think we're going to try to let those flowers and see if we can get some ramps out of them. Lots of little things we planted everywhere. Here's a tomatillo plant, and a little companion tomatillo plant. Along this edge I planted oats, because Momo loves to eat oats. Over here by his water dish I planted a little cover crop mix that's peas and oats as well, so he can have a little snack when he gets water in here. What else? So many things, so many things. Down here, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I planted all of these purple potatoes, and they've all come up and they are about to flower, which is really exciting because I've heard that the flowers for potatoes will match the color of the potato, so these should be beautiful purple flowers. Here we have one surviving strawberry plant. We bought some bare root plants, and this is the only one that managed to survive, but it is doing quite well. And this thing is one of the things we are most excited about. It is a Lady Godiva squash. It's got the hull-less pumpkin seeds, so we can just eat them straight out of the pumpkin without having to shell all of them, which is so exciting. And over there in that little contained bed is all of the 200 onions that I planted. Some of them have gotten outcompeted by the sweet clover that grows here like a weed, but that's okay. It also fixes nitrogen into the soil, and so it's helping us to improve the quality of the ground and food that we grow. And there's still plenty of onions that are growing in there, along with a ton of sunflowers from the millions of sunflowers we had growing here last year. So that's something we're definitely going to have to be tearing out soon. We've also planted another variety of pumpkin that is a green variety. I can't remember what it's called, but there it is, sprouting from seed, directly sown. Onions from last year that are all going to flower. Beets from last year that are flowering as well. This lovage here, which seems to be a nice little hotel for all of the ladybug larvae and pupa that are hatching. Aphids don't seem to like that plant, but the ladybugs love it. Oats, dandelion, and sorrel, I believe. Hopefully some corn will be sprouting right here in a few days. We've also planted millet over here so we can have a nice grain for the chickens. And countless other things. High Tunnel is packed, and we're just getting started. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tour of the High Tunnel, and I'm excited to keep you updated on all the progress of these plants through the season, and I'm even more excited to eat all the food that grows. Alright, let's head on to the next project update.
Today I'm here by the Russian olive tree, which is flowering. I don't know if you can see very well, but it's got little yellow flowers all over it, and they smell so, so good. And down under the tree, our wine cap mushrooms are back. This is the third flush we've had of them. It's not very many, and we didn't pick them. We're just gonna let them do their thing, make spores, and keep going. But it's exciting that they're still here. Beautiful breeze. So little. He's so precious.
You're gonna say hi to the camera?
Oh, he's my baby.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that rundown of all the stuff that can happen here in just 1 week on our homestead. And if you enjoyed this episode, and if you did enjoy this episode, and maybe even if you didn't, then be sure to check us out on Patreon. There you'll find lots of cool extras and behind the scenes footage and all the recipes from Bret's Kitchen. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell here on YouTube so you don't miss the next episode of Desert Glowing.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye. Momo, say bye.